Alright, we'll just put clear purple Espio right next to clear blue Sonic, and there we are. Oh hey, you broke into my house again. As you can see, you just caught me adding to my ever-growing clear Sonic figure collection. I've almost finished collecting them all. I only need clear blue Superposer Sonic and then my collection will be complete. Man, I need a new hobby. Hi, my name is Henry, and ever since his introduction back in '91, Sega has made it their mission to plaster this funky little blue fella's face over as many products as possible. Which shouldn't come as much of a surprise considering he was designed to be a rival to one of the most marketable video game characters of all time made by a company who secretly hates all the people who buy their games. Anyways, over the years we've only gotten more and more stuff, leading to a plethora of products ranging from action figures to whatever this abomination is. We'll get to you in a bit. Hey, speaking of smooth segues, let's talk about those gosh dang darn action figures first. These guys actually played a very large role as to why I got into Sonic as a kid, because I thought that they were really cool. That and also because the closest thing I got to gaming as a child was a half-broken PS2, with the only game I had on it being The Incredibles. Ideal gaming setup, I know. I also had a Windows computer which was just strong enough to watch YouTube videos and run Flash games, which meant I was watching a lot of figure review videos and replaying Sonic Ultimate Flash back in 2012. I practically have the passwords engraved into the back of my head. What's this video about again? So I have a little bit of a soft spot for these hunks of plastic, and looking back at them now, they're just fine if you can ignore the giant ugly points where the limbs are supposed to bend. Although I can't really be mad at Jazzwares for making the figures like this, since it's kinda hard to translate these characters' designs into figure form while still giving them articulation. For the time that Jazzwares produced these little dudes, they covered a good portion of the Sonic cast. Although they sorta left out a few big players in the series. I mean, if they left out Storm the Albatross or, Egg Fighters, I don't think anybody would be rioting over at Jazzwares headquarters to get them made. But what might be weird to learn is that figures of those characters were made, but characters like Rouge or Cream never saw the light of day. But hey, at least you get to buy forgettable Shadow the Hedgehog enemy number 76, yay, what a steal! We've got everybody's favorites, such as Sonic, Tails, Froggy, Clear Purple Espio, you know, all the classic staples of the Sonic series. Yeah, most of the Jazzwares figures are pretty decent for the most part. It seems that they do actually care about making decent cool figures. Okay, that's enough niceness. Now time to do what every Sonic fan is perfect at doing. Complaining. Well, Sega at one point did what every company with highly marketable characters does, and made figures based off of ideas they pulled out of their asses one lazy day at work. Like how Marvel regularly releases toys where Spider-Man has a car. Except that actually happened, but that's a subject for another video, okay? Sega's equivalent to that took the form of figure lines like Space Fighters. What's Space Fighters? What's it got to do with Sonic? Well, if I know, dumb kids will buy them anyways because they look cool. I know I did. I mean, Sonic in space? Where'd you get that wacky idea from, huh? I really have to stop recording all my lines at 2 AM. Well, at least they actually bothered making Rouge and Cream figures. And also Chris, you know, everybody's favorite Sonic character, Chris. Gee, people just can't get enough of Chris. They didn't even bother to color the emeralds right. or give the right amount. There's 8. I just noticed that. And boy, I should have been more grateful about Jazzwares figure articulation, cause with these guys you're basically just paying for a poorly painted statue with minor bits of movement. Hey, speaking of which, Funko Pops exist. I was unaware, but apparently a good chunk of the internet absolutely hates these little suckers. Although I wouldn't be rushing to the store to buy a Yellow Bunny Peeps Funko Pop, I don't really see the big problem with them. A lot of people's complaints come with the overall design of them. The big beady black eyes and no mouths can creep a lot of people out. At first I didn't really understand why it made people so uncomfortable, but that is until I saw their Sonic Pop. What expression is this? Is it mad? Empty? I don't want to have this thing in my house. This is yet another example of Sonic character designs not translating well into merchandise form. Sonic's one single eye is a weird design choice that I've just sort of gotten used to over the years. But seeing it translated into Funko form makes me realize just how disturbing it is that his eyes are basically just shoved into the same socket like that. The other Sonic-themed Pops look slightly better because they aren't scary blue Cyclops hedgehog creatures, but going back to Jazzwares for a second, they also produce some Sonic plushies, which leads us to the overwhelming amount of those. I've never really been that big of a fan of plushies, so I can't really speak too much about these, but I will say that if there's one somewhat consistent issue that they have is their proportions. What do I mean by that? Well, take a look at this Slenderman looking motherfucker. Anyways, now that we've covered some of the more formal stuff, let's get into the meat of this video. The weird stuff. Well, what better way to start off than with Sonic-themed food products? I've always found making food products based off of things like Sonic to be weird. It's one thing to plaster a movie poster on a Doritos bag or to have Scooby-Doo shaped fruit gummies. But when you start making Sonic Funko Pops cereal, you kinda lose me there. This especially applies with the stuff that Sega was pumping out during the 90s. Like this Sonic pasta that I only had prior knowledge about because of this infamous commercial. That's the only reason. There are no other reasons except for that one.
Food.
Sonic the Hedgehog pasta from Franco American. What are you playing for lunch?
What do you want me to say? It's a 90s commercial about Sonic pasta. Oddly enough, this wasn't the first, or last, time Sonic-themed canned foods were made, since a company called HP Foods did it before it was cool. And here's my personal favorite from this category of products, a specially designed Daddy's ketchup bottle that brutally contorts the blue mofo into the shape of a bottle. So if you ever wanted to buy a horribly disfigured Sonic with the word Daddy's plastered across his chest, well then your prayers have been answered. Finally, a product just for me! One of the less strange and more interesting bits of Sonic history that I've never heard anybody mention before researching food items is the Sonic Cherry Coke Shuttle from 1993. This was a part of Sega of America's Welcome to the Next Level ad campaign in which they teamed up with the Coca-Cola company to make this contraption that would tour major cities and let kids have a nice sip of pure carbonated sugar while playing some good old Sonic 1 and 2. Apparently there were also other Sega games, but who cares about other Sega games? It's all about the blue blur, baby! Unfortunately, from what I've been able to find, there's no pictures of the tour shuttle, well, touring. But we do have this lovely thing? Advertisement? I don't know, that shows what the shuttle looked like. Look at all these people. Don't they look like they're having a blast? Man, look at this guy. He's just happy to be alive. Look at this Sonic drawing with his pupil disturbingly being covered by this weird middle part of his Cyclops eye. I knew it was a mistake to acknowledge the existence of you beady-eyed motherfuckers. Warning! The Cherry Sonic Sega Coke Shuttle blasts off this summer. I don't like the fact that they used the word warning. Should I feel threatened that this thing is approaching my city? They might as well just said, remember kids, every minute you aren't running, the Sonic Cherry Coke Shuttle is only getting closer. Although there isn't much information on the web about this, it must have been pretty well received as the shuttle hit the streets once more in 1994 with the release of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And also Sonic and Knuckles. And also Sonic 3. And also Knuckles and Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And also, Get Blue Balls. And once more the shuttle rolled out in 1995, except this time unrelated to Sonic and only giving people the opportunity to play Sega's at the time 3 new games, Virtua Fighter, Daytona USA, and Panzer Dragoon. But last time I checked, none of these series games have an opening where a blue hedgehog gets the living daylights punched out of him by an echidna, so are they really worth discussing? Another item that's not technically a Sonic-themed food item, but is still worth mentioning, is that one time when McDonald's slapped a few Sonic toys into a Happy Meal box and called it a day at the time of the release of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. They didn't even try with that last one. It's widely believed that the release of this Happy Meal is the reason Sonic 3 and Knuckles was split into 2 separate games. Cause apparently McDonald's pressured Sega into an early 1994 deadline. So is this the true reason that Sonic 3 and Knuckles was split into 2 games and resulted in a very awkward title for the full experience? No, it was software limitations. But perhaps the deadline did play a part, but I doubt it's the main reason. Also, a relatively small flip note, but Robotnik's toy was given a completely different look in Japan that was much more accurate to the game version. Meanwhile, America got the SatAM design. This is just one of the many examples of characters' designs being changed on media in Japan and America because somebody decided that Sonic wasn't quite radical enough and needed a mohawk. This is yet another food product that most people only know about from its infamous commercial.
Where do the stars of Sega Sonic 3 go when the game's over?
Sonic? Are you guys in there?
Hey, here's a hint. They're at McDonald's in the $1.99 Sonic 3 Hamburger Happy Meal. Sonic launches with a push of a button. Tails flies who knows how high. And Robotnik barely dodges disaster. There's even this sweepstakes thing where 10,000 lucky folks will win free Sonic 3 cartridges. So if you're still looking for Sonic and his friends,
I need to report a missing hedgehog.
take the kids to McDonald's, where what you want is what you get.
The actual toys didn't really have anything special to them, but this advertisement will forever have a special place in Sonic history. Hey, speaking of McDonald's Sonic products whose advertisements will forever have an infamous place in Sonic history, you knew this was coming.
और चलकर हैप्पी मील खाए और मैकडॉनल्ड से सेगा गेम्स लाए टेल सॉकर Sonic skateboard, Rogue and Emmy tennis, Dream puff flower catch, Shadow basketball, Knuckles baseball. जी भरकर फिर खेलें, खूब हल्ला गुल्ला मचाएं और दोस्तों को भी बतलाएं. चलो चलकर हैप्पी मील खाएं. चलो चले मैकडॉनल्ड से सेगा गेम्स लाएं.
I'm loving it.
I'm not. Why does Rouge look like that? What did you do with her? Why does she look like Ratatouille? And while we're on the topic of Sonic and restaurants, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word Sonic the Hedgehog? Is it Hooters? If so, why? But also, congratulations, you could probably work for Sega's marketing. And since we're getting into better known products, Sonic Speed Drink. Apparently this is a pretty well-known US Sonic product, but I personally never heard of it before researching it for this video. Also, where are his legs? And what better way to end this section of the video than with the infamous Blue Bunny Gumball Eyes ice cream bar. It's not that hard to see why this is so well known, considering how big of a role these played in a lot of people's childhoods. And of course their legacy of being more hideously deformed than a flipped image of my avatar. Don't try it. Other than maybe that well-known Sonic curry that has interesting side effects that I won't get into in this video, you can do that research yourself, and the Sonic wine glasses that you can consider a food item if you really want to stretch it, there isn't much other bits of interest in the vast sea of these. Well, actually, on second thought, maybe we can cover one more. Never mind, let's move on. In the 90s, Sega ran a magazine called Sega Visions, which had a section of it called Totally Sonic, which was just filled to the brim with attempts to sell their products to kids. Show up this Halloween disguised as Sonic himself. You may not be quite as fast, but you will have fun fooling your friends with one of these Sonic costumes available in polyester vinyl. Yeah, you almost definitely have everybody fooled wearing this. Sonic Lunchbox. What could be better than having lunch with Sonic himself every day? Man, nothing comes to mind. Turn up the juice with your very own Sonic cassette player from DSi. Just in case you didn't believe me when I said that this was from the 90s, you know, that, sentence, turn up the juice, I think that proves it. Also, Dak and Sonic plush, I don't have anything funny to say about this one, but I think it's very cool. I wonder just how much these would cost now that they've stopped being produced for so long. A good amount of the stuff that I've already covered on this list are considered collectibles, such as the McDonald's toys. Which leads us to our next section, the products that cost more than 2 human lungs. Trust me, I checked. A very well-known collectible piece of Sonic history that sorta has a cult following is the Fleetway Sonic the Comic. This was back in the early days where Sega was still trying to figure out Sonic's personality, so they had no issue with making him straight up a dick to his friends. Another thing it was memorable for was one of the earliest versions of Sonic's origin story, as well as, my god, this comic was supposed to be for kids? Like most early Sonic material, it had some trouble crafting a consistent world. It wasn't until more modern games that we got a world that, for the most part, was able to stay consistent with how it's presented. But in the early days, the story could range anywhere from dark and gritty world ran by threatening super evil genius, to Sonic has an underground band now with his siblings Sonia and Manic, and yeah, that's the official story now. The comic had these inconsistencies in the form of the previously mentioned different personality and the now scrapped origin story, as well as portraying Super Sonic as a merciless demon, cause, you know, that's the same vibe I got from looking at this yellow sprite. I'm going off topic. Anyways, as you could imagine, the first print issue is very rare, and although I can't find the exact price that an original copy of it would go for, I'm going to use my Sherlock Holmes detective skills to determine that it's approximately expensive. There's the aforementioned 10th anniversary wine glasses, cause, you know, Sonic the Hedgehog and alcoholic beverages can't have one without the other. But if you thought this was the only item made for Sonic's 10th anniversary,
you were wrong.
We've got a lighter, for some reason, a real silver ring, this totally radical crystal cube, and a cool marble statue. Oh my god, is that a Sonic reference? And last, but most certainly not least, and the most well-known collectibles from this section, is the Sth-130 Guitars. Or the Sonic Guitars if you don't want to sound like a fucking nerd. These are simultaneously the most ridiculous and the most awesome items in this entire video. This one in particular was made by ESP to celebrate the Hedgehog's 20th anniversary, and is notable for looking extremely creepy and only shows Sonic's eyes and teeth. Kinda reminds me of something, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Oh, right, yeah. ESP eventually once more made Sonic Guitars, this time for the 25th anniversary, and it includes a Shadow variant, and they all come with their respective picks, so you got the whole Sonic Guitar package, in case you wanna like, I don't know, start an underground Sonic band, I guess? And if that is your plan, well, I hope you got $9,000 laying around, as the most recent guitars can go anywhere from $1,300 to $1,800 Meanwhile, the 20th anniversary one can go for $6,500. Maybe it's best to just settle for the picks. Now that we've covered all of the game merchandise that I wanted to cover, we can finally move on to the main reason that I wanted to make this video in the first place. The movie merchandise. I don't think I need to recap the whole Sonic movie design fiasco since it's common knowledge at this point. But I'm going to anyways. Paramount released the trailer for the Sonic movie, people were kinda freaked out by his whole everything. The internet had fun with it for a while. Tyson Hess said, "Ha ha ha, no children, that's not how you Sonic." In his striking turn of events, internet petitions actually did something for once. Blue Boy was given a facelift, redesign was praised, movie did good, Sega and Paramount made money, everybody wins. Well, except for the company who went out of business, but that was probably not Sonic's fault. But with a change as big as the main character's design, most of the merchandise for the film was a little bit too late to catch up with the redesign. This shouldn't come as much of a surprise since it's not uncommon for movie merchandise to already be designed and ready for production even before the first trailer drops. This is especially the case for big blockbusters based on an already very marketable character. This peculiar plush is called the Baby Sonic plushie. But it's not based off of the Baby Sonic we see in the film, but rather one from fairly early in the film's development, which we can see more of in this deleted scene. And yeah, he's still creepy, I'm sorry. Another plushie that does the old design more justice than, well, the old design is the Build-A-Bear with a special ability to spit out the same 5 phrases over and over again by mashing his palm. It truly is amazing how far technology has brought us. PCO Group is a company which specializes in selling primarily movie merchandise at theaters. You've most definitely seen their stuff before if you've been to a theater recently. Well, maybe not recently, but you get what I'm saying. And for the Sonic movie, they produced these plushies. Why the big grin, huh? See something funny guy? But these were only sold in Germany and Russia. And because of that one bad thing I'm not sure YouTube is okay with me mentioning in my videos, not a large amount of them were made, making them a rare piece. Also, funny old Dudley design prototype, hahaha, funny. Although this next one is not really buyable, a while after the film's release, there was a pretty high demand for the Sonic shoes within the film to become real life. And become real life they did, as Puma and these fuckers decide to make shoes that were meticulously designed to mirror those worn in the film. The downside? Only 5 pairs were made, and they were nothing but promotional items not up for sale. But they are out there somewhere. I like to imagine Sega has a giant Fort Knox vault where they keep things like these shoes along with a cut of the film that includes the Manhog design. As well as maybe like a Blue Bunny Sonic popsicle that doesn't look like something from John Carpenter's The Thing. Hey, speaking of which, why'd they make so many? Couldn't you just be satisfied with one awful-looking mask that has been my phone background for 2 months? There's also this wonderful novelization of the movie, cause if there's one thing fans of a game series that has going as fast as possible as its main mechanic love doing, it's reading. One of the more curious items produced for the film is this golden ring. At first there doesn't seem to be anything all that special, right? Just a yellow plastic circle with cardboard packaging that slaps the OG Sonic design on there. Well, that's where the oddity of this product comes into play. Cause obviously this isn't the redesign, but it's also not the OG design. It's the OG design. Let me explain. If you're some sort of freak who isn't a Sonic movie enthusiast, Sonic went through a lot more redesigns than just these two, such as this concept art that got leaked a while back, which has Chris Pratt for some reason, as well as a not so bad looking early design. Why is he just letting him put his crusty ass shoes on top of his head like that? And this design was apparently the same one that was used on the ring packaging. I say apparently because we have a few other images which were leaked by a Russian voice actor working on a dub for the film. And we can see plenty of differences from these two designs, like the Russian dub leak design having a much more fuzzier and kind of angry looking face. Or at least that's what I see. They could very well be the same model and my caveman brain just doesn't comprehend it. But either way, this Frisbee is most certainly using a Sonic design that never saw the light of day. Another design that never saw the light of day but wasn't ever plastered on any cardboard packaging for a plastic Frisbee, but I still feel is worth mentioning since we've gone down this rabbit hole of Sonic designs, was one used in a teaser trailer made specifically for the 2018 Brazil Comic Con experience, or CCXP18 for short. During this con, people got to see the first ever piece of footage from the film. However, no cameras were allowed at the event, and the footage hasn't seen any official release from Sega or Paramount. So we'll probably never get to see this design. Except we did anyways. Allegedly, this one picture is our only look at this design. And that's a big allegedly, since there's always a good chance that this photo is simply just a hoax. Wouldn't be the first hoax surrounding the film. Supposedly the reaction from the audience to this design was fairly positive. And if this screenshot is indeed real, then yeah, it's certainly one of the better designs that they could have gone with. To this day, we still have no piece of this special teaser footage, and there's still no sign of Paramount showing any interest in releasing it either. Anybody want to volunteer to help me break into that Sega vault? Well, with all notable movie merch covered, I guess that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. So what did we learn today, kiddies? Yep, that's right. This video was just an excuse for me to talk about the Sonic Cherry Coke Shuttle. Well, as always, my name is Henry, and I'll see you in the next one. And also please subscribe, I'm very quickly going bankrupt from spending so much money on my collection. Please, I need the ad revenue to continue buying more clear purple SBO figures. Please, please!